Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to the Red Dirt Aggie Show. I'm Brian, the Red Dirt Aggie. That over there is
Hey, I'm Shelton Wallace.
Sheldon Wallace. What's up, dude? How you
Not
doing?
much, man. Doing good, man. How are you?
Doing good. We're over the hump. It's hump day, right? Wednesday.
Oh
Head towards
yeah,
the weekend, so can't complain. You
that
know.
was Geico, right? Geico did that.
With the, oh yeah, with the camel hump day. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Geico. No, it wasn't Geico. There was no
Was it
lizard.
not? There was what?
There was no lizard. There's
No,
no.
it wasn't. It was Geico, but it was like I think it was Geico, and they went like a different route when they went away from the lizard for a little bit. Then they brought him back, or the
Huh.
gecko, or whatever he's
I
gecko,
don't know.
Geico,
That might be
lizard.
Allstate. Shit, I don't.
Yeah. We got that crazy, those crazy commercials. But why don't you? I like to give my guests a chance to kind of introduce themselves first. Usually when I start off, so
Oh yeah. My name's Shelton Wallace. I started working in the scene like 7 years ago, and just always been a fan of Red Dirt and Texas country music, but I like mainstream country too. So I like music in general, So not above any of it, but I don't have the musical talents that these people have. So it's like I've had to like figure out my way to be a part of it without being on stage because no one wants to see me on stage.
well, I think a lot of us that do things like podcasts or any of this behind the scenes stuff or anything like this, I think kind of fall into that category where we love music and everything about the scene and try to find our place where we can fit in and benefit people and benefit ourselves too in the end, I guess. And just kind of get that satisfaction of being involved.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's cool. It's like, a lot of people don't realize how many jobs there are involved in music, like all the different things that you need to have a good show. Like, it's not just the people on stage. There are
Right.
tons of people behind the scenes, so it's like it's it's cool. It's really cool that those jobs are there, and sometimes they're not the funnest jobs.
Well, yeah, sometimes but somebody's got to do them,
Oh
somebody's got
yeah,
to do
you
them.
got it. You got to have
And
someone. Got to have someone.
um, but I mean, yeah, there's so many different ways and things that people need help with, or things that need to be done that a lot of that maybe the average fan or someone who goes to a show doesn't even think about. Like everything from who set up and booked that show, who set up all the equipment on stage, who's selling the merch, who's doing this, who's doing that. So
Yeah,
there's
who wrote
all
the
sorts of different
songs?
ways. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause-
who wrote the songs? Because sometimes it's not the artist.
no, yeah, and that's cool. I think
Yeah.
they're incredible singers that are terrible songwriters, and I mean those people will tell you that they're not good songwriters, and so, they, thankfully we got songwriters, and
Yeah,
the songwriters can't sing either.
Yeah, and then it's some people are better songwriters than singers. Some are better singers than songwriters, and then you get those rare few that can do both, and those are the really like
And
special
those
ones.
are the talented people. Yeah,
Mhm.
those are the people that is a gift. You get
Yeah.
to experience. But there's people that music as a whole is a gift. Just because you don't like a song doesn't mean the next person doesn't like the song.
Yeah.
So it's like we have artists that we like, and there's not many artists that I don't like because I can find something about it that I do like with whether it be production or one line or one melody, one piece of the melody ends up, I'll be like, dang, like that's
Yeah.
cool. The artist is awesome. Like how they did this that's sick. Like I can never do that, So
No, and I think I kind of relate to that too. It's like, well, it might not be your favorite artist or your favorite song or something, but there's always something that you're like, well, I respect the hell out of like this part of the process that you did, or I really like what you're doing over here. Well, everything else might not be the favorite, but it's like I could see, like, you know what I mean. There's a space for everyone, really. Like there's plenty of space for music, as long as you're doing something that you're proud of and putting it out there. I mean, that's all that anybody can really ask for.
yeah, for sure. And like, the people that drive across the country for $200 to go play a show
Yeah.
in Madison, Wisconsin, it's like, hey, I respect the grind. Like, I've driven to Madison, Wisconsin. I've driven the band in Madison before, or, anywhere. Just driven across the country so we could do a string of shows in another state. And
that's how you grow, though.
That's how you. That's and it's cool. It's like it's something that you, like as a kid, I'd always see like, man, like they're doing this, and as a kid, you don't know that you don't have to be on stage. So it's like it's cool. Like I've enjoyed doing it and being on the road with John. He's the longest person I've worked for.
Right.
But yeah, with him, I mean, shoot, man, we have, just like everyone else, we all have the stories. So they're always fun.
Well, what's maybe one of your favorite stories from the road that you're willing to share here on the podcast? Just what's maybe one of those good stories?
Man, there's so many. The best ones are the ones where it's like, there was one time we were driving to Deadwood, South Dakota, but we had to make a stop in Mitchell, South Dakota, or shoot, I don't know. Mitchell, South Dakota. We had to make a stop there first. Well, we couldn't drive all the way to Mitchell because, I drive slow. I make sure we're safe, and we stopped somewhere in Nebraska. Well, we leave Nebraska early, and we drive 2 hours down the road, and hotel calls John, and they're like, hey, we found guitars in your room. And we're like, what? You didn't grab the guitars? No, I didn't grab the guitars. I'm fucking driving. Oh, can I cuss?
Oh, my gosh.
No cussing or no?
Oh, you're fine. Yeah.
Okay.
We got editing either way, so.
All right. Well, I'll try not to cuss. I do talk like a sailor, but so we had to turn around, drive 2 hours back to the freaking hotel, get all the guitars, and then drive to Mitchell, South Dakota to make our stop, and that was a nightmare. And fun fact, that's not the only time we've left guitars. John left his guitars in the back of his truck one time. And we had made it damn near to Alabama. Like we left early, and then we made it like past Biloxi, Mississippi, and didn't have his guitars. So like what we had to do for that one show in Huntsville, we had to go to Guitar Center. He bought a used guitar, used it for that night. His wife was flying to the next show anyways, and wherever it was, in Memphis, I think. And then she flew with a guitar so that he would have his guitars. And then when we got home, we just returned that used guitar.
Because they have a deal. Center. They have a deal where you can do that, huh?
45-day return policy.
Hey, that's...
And look, oh, sorry, you go.
No, I was just going to say, I'm sure that gets a lot of people out of jams with stuff like that.
It does, but as a former Guitar Center employee, I would get a little pissed off when people would do that. We call them 0111s because that's what the code is. The sales code is 01 when you're selling something, but it's 11 when you return it. And so people that do that all the time, we'd just be like, oh, they're 0111, like, don't count on that being sold. They're going to return that on the 44th day, and you get screwed on your commission. I didn't even worry about it. At first, I kind of would get mad, but I was like, I started doing pretty well at Guitar Center, and so I was like, all those people, it never really affected what I was going to do, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I got into it, actually, is I knew I wanted to work in music, but sometimes when you reach out to people on social media or you reach out to their emails, like they don't reply, or they're like, this guy's weird, random. We're not hiring is what a lot of people do. So I was like, well, where do musicians go? And I was like, I need to go to Guitar Center. And so I had tried to work at Guitar Center when I lived in College Station. I could never get a job. I didn't have job experience. I was 18,
Right.
and but I moved back, and I got a job at the Katy Guitar Center, and I worked there for like 5 years, and really did well. Met a lot of people in and out, and that's kind of how I ended up with John. Was a friend that worked at Guitar Center was friends with someone that worked for John, and then I kind of just like, I got to sell merch for him at Green Hall. That was my first day.
Yeah.
And then from there on out, I was like, I bugged the dude that used to be in the band. I bugged him like, hey man, when's the next show? Hey, you're playing here. Can I ride with you? Like, I'll do whatever. And you know, John was always cool. Like, I never really worked for free, but I never worked for a lot of money either.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to get in, you know. And then it worked out. Now I've been with him for a while, but all because of Guitar Center, you know.
Yeah. No, and it's weird how stuff like you never know what's going to happen or who you're going to meet or like what way you're going to find your way into doing stuff. And it's like, I try to throw myself around in as many different roles as I can and do different stuff because I'm still trying to figure out like where I'm going to fit in because I want to be a part of this industry too. And, you know, I feel like I kind of am with this podcast and stuff, but, you know, not in any kind of monetary way, really. But
oh, for sure. Yeah.
But
like,
it's,
I mean,
you know,
shoot, we still work a day job too, you know. Like, you have to, I mean, there's some people you can work for in the Texas scene that you can make good money for, but like, you know, when you're home on the weeks during the week, you gotta do your thing.
Yeah.
So and that's I like working. Like I find a way to, you know, do what I want and still be creative. That's kind of why you know, John's guitar player and I were making videos and like learning how to make videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And so after we had done it for a good little bit, we were like, I was like, man, I think we could capitalize on it. Actually, he said, I think we can capitalize on it. And I was like, in my head, I had been thinking I could too. And so he was like, yeah, I want to do it. And I was like, well, I like the idea of having a business partner. And then he was like, we should do it together. And I was like, teamwork. Like,
yeah, like, there we
perfect.
go. Yeah.
And because I have things that I'm really good at, and he has things that he's really good at. And so it really works out as a really good partnership with him. But yeah, so we decided to do a little media company. So we started Release Rocket Media, and so far we've been doing it. It's our second year, so we're still very young as a company. But you know, we've been having a lot of fun. We have pretty consistent clients, and you know, we're just slowly but surely, you know, getting them up there, and it's been fun.
Yeah, no, and it's that's the reason I got into all of this stuff too, because it's fun, and it's like it's cool. It's like it's a creative outlet. It's a cool way to be involved, and at the same time, I feel like it's cool because I can promote and plug all these artists that maybe aren't in the mainstream or that a lot of people know about yet. And then also get to meet and talk to some of the ones that I've wanted to, and just people in the industry like you and whoever else that really wants to be on here, because it's just cool hearing everyone's perspective. And so, like, I get that.
Yeah, you've had some pretty big people on though. You had Parker on. You had you had the Treaty Oak. You had Treaty Oak on.
Yeah,
and,
no, it's.
I really liked that one. I thought it was cool that all of them were able to be on the podcast, and it was cool. It's like they're all in their own areas.
No, that was a really big advantage of doing. I do a lot of virtual episodes. I've started to do some in person too, but that's the big advantage of the virtual ones is you get the people that are busy like that all run around doing different stuff, and they all. It was hats off to them too. They were so kind to like. They talked to me probably for another 30 minutes before all of them got on too, and then they spent an hour and a half just like bullshitting, talking about whatever on there, telling stories. And
yeah, no, I actually
cool.
liked it. I liked that one a lot. I liked it because it was long too. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not saying this one has to be super long. My life isn't anything incredible, but you know, I like the longer ones because there's just so much to say. So I enjoy listening to the longer podcast personally. But you know, my friends, they have Texas Toast, Kyle Garrett, and so he, you know, that one they've structured that one how they make it efficient for them, and that one's like you get like a half hour, on that one, and it's great. And we actually were living together when he kind of started that podcast, and so like he was like always telling me the early stages, like you know, just I don't know, explaining his thought process on what they were doing and stuff. So. But we're good. We grew up together. We went to the same middle school and high school. So, but you know, we weren't friends in high school. So I would like. Kyle had a post-hardcore band in high school. And they were great. Like, I know everyone like says, you know, oh, my band in high school wasn't good or whatever, but man, their band was awesome, and I listened to that band, and I got to see them a couple times live, and I because I'm not a good musician, I wouldn't even consider myself a musician at all. But because I'm not good at playing instruments or whatever, I wouldn't talk to those people because they intimidated me, kind of. And so it wasn't until after high school I saw Kyle post some stuff. He started he was like recording people at a studio. I was like, man, I want to record some songs. And so I like reached out on his like website email, and he's like, dude, like I know who you are. You could have just like texted me or whatever. And so anyways, we kind of hit it off recording that little EP, and then we just became really close, and we've been friends. Really good friends since, but it's cool that he's like trying his thing in the scene, because he grew up on, you know, listening to country music as well, and so him, you know, as a close to 30-year-old adult, it's cool to see what he's writing today. More singer-songwriter-y. I'm supposed to go to Austin next Tuesday. And take like pictures and videos, because he's got some stuff coming out that's pretty cool, and and he's doing it in a pretty unique way. So, you know, I'm really interested to see what kind of direction we do the content for this. Next few releases for him. I'm pretty stoked about it, but it's going to be during the freeze next week, so we'll see. I'm not scared of driving ice or snow, because shit, dude, there was one night we were on a run with Aaron Watson for like 2 or 3 weeks, and we originally had planned we're just gonna leave in the morning. We played in Bozeman, Montana, and a blizzard was gonna come through in the late part of night, and I was like, we ain't making it. We ain't making it to Boise. We're not making it to Idaho, like, at all. So, like, this is, like, 30 minutes before the show. So I'm like, I'm not going to say anything and let the guys play their show, and then I'm going to be like, pack it up. We got to roll. And so after the show, I was like, hey, we gotta go. So we went back to the Airbnb, threw all of our stuff in the van and trailer real quick, and then hit the road. But I didn't take the interstate. I went the scenic route, but the scenic route was faster. So I was like, yeah, dude, I'll go through it. Well, I drove through West Yellowstone, and it was like negative 17 degrees. Like, I'm not.
Holy cow!
It was probably negative 14. Shit, it was probably 12, but it felt negative. But I'll tell you this, it was so cold. Everyone's asleep. It's so cold. In the front, I have the defrosters on, and there's still some fog on the passenger and driver, window. And it's icing inside, and our sound guy at the time, Red, he is scraping it off with like a gift card, and there's ice going everywhere. And we almost hit an elk on that one. I'm going up the mountain. The trailer's going this way, the van's going this way.
Yeah.
I'm sliding towards the elk. Oncoming traffic. I mean, it was a nightmare. It took us all night. We left Bozeman at like, I don't know, midnight, and didn't get there till like 7 in the morning or something. And it was a nightmare. We saw I'd made it to a rest stop, and we saw Watson's bus driver go like keep driving. I was like, man, I should have just followed them the whole night. But we had our own little adventure, and it was cool, man. But yeah, so I mean, I guess with that ice storm or whatever we're gonna have next week, if it does, I'm not really too scared to driving.
We'll just have to see. I mean, the forecast probably changed 15 times between now and then. So,
yeah, if I fly off the road and I survive, I'll send you a picture and show you my car. But hopefully I don't foreshadow myself.
Yeah, well, hopefully you don't like die or almost die.
Hey, almost die I'm cool with.
Although almost die is better than die, yeah.
Yeah, almost die you have a story to tell.
Yeah, you got a cool story.
You didn't die, so it's like, hey.
Yeah, but did we die though? Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude.
Well,
man, that's another story. That run was crazy because it was ice. I mean, we played the Pacific Northwest with them, and
yeah,
man, I love the cold. It's like it's just so nice up there, like the dry, and like it's pretty, and
I'd rather be cold than hot too. Any day.
For sure. Look,
which means we live in the wrong state, but
right? Like, look, you can put more clothes on. You can't get naked enough.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you can put as many clothes on as you want, but you can only take so many layers off before it's a felony, or whatever they say, right?
Well,
or it's a crime.
And no one wants to see it. I mean, my girlfriend don't even want to see it. Like, so it's you don't really want to be taking those clothes off all the time, all the way.
Yeah, not all the way.
But
speaking of colder weather and stuff, I know you put out that music video and that song back around Christmas time. The "If All I Have for Christmas Is You." Did you have fun doing that? Was that a cool
dude, we
project?
had fun, man. The crazy thing with that song was I'd started.
I saw the promos for it too. That's awesome. I've never seen you.
Oh yeah, dude! I bought a ripstick. I haven't had a ripstick since I was in 6th grade. My mom bought me a ripstick for Christmas in 6th grade, and dude, I wore the wheels off of that ripstick. I replaced the wheels so many times on that ripstick that the internal like bearings of the ripstick, they messed up and it wouldn't work anymore. So like that ripstick, it had miles on it,
right?
And so, but anyway, so it was fun to buy one, and all this time.
So they still make them then?
They still make them. And
yeah, dude. I remember when they came out.
Yeah, I can still ride it, so I feel like I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, man, that song I started writing it on my uncle's couch. My uncle went on a cruise, and my aunt went on a cruise, and I was watching the house and watching my cousin was a senior in high school, so she didn't really need a babysitter, but I was just there if shit hit the fan, But
Make sure she didn't throw a party or anything.
If she did, it's fun. It's all fun. But I'll leave. Yeah, so I started writing the song, and I really liked where I was at on it, but I'm a better code writer than just writing by myself, and so I called my sister. All my siblings are half siblings. We have the same dad. I don't really have a relationship with my dad, but I have a relationship with my half sister, and she does music too. So I called her and I was like, "Man, hey, I played it for her. I was like, I want to get on FaceTime. She lives in Georgia.
Yeah.
I was like, let's get on FaceTime and write this song. And then I was like, hey, I'll call you back in a little bit. My mom's calling me. I answered the phone. My mom told me my grandpa passed away. And then I was like, dang. So it was crazy. It's like I'm writing this song really not about the death of my grandpa because I don't know he's dead. But
yeah,
I then get on the phone with my sister, and I'm like, hey, we can write it this weekend. She's like, what? Why? I was like, I'll be in Georgia. My grandpa just passed away. And then so that weekend, that night, actually, me and my other uncle that was here and my cousin jumped in my car, and we drove to Atlanta, and then I went to Athens and wrote the song with her, hung out with her and my half-brothers that weekend, and then, had the song, sat on the song for, 6 months or so, and I asked my friends, I was like, man, I really want to record this song, and they're like, yeah, we should totally do it, and so, Ryan, who's my business partner, he played guitar and stuff on it, and my other business partner, who's doing the recording studio that we're building, and friend, his name is John Wilson. He was, he's John's keyboard player, and he produced it, and we did it all in my apartment, and we really had a fun time recording it. I flew my sister out here so she could sing harmonies and like background vocals, and that was really fun. But it's funny, people think I wrote the song about my grandpa, and I really didn't, man. I wrote the song, the idea came because my aunt really has a really pretty Christmas tree, and I was like, man, at the time I was living in a truck bed camper, like I had 200 square feet, and so it was crazy, like not a cool way to live, really. And I'm looking at this tree, and I'm like, man, I don't have anything. I don't have much of anything, but like one day I'm gonna have a Christmas tree that's pretty like this. And then I remembered, they didn't always have a pretty Christmas tree. They had one time struggled like everyone else, and so I was like, really, I thought about them, and I was like, man, all they had was each other and love. They literally just loved each other, and they had a son, and that's all they had was them three, and so if you can have nothing, but as long as I have you, my Christmas is going to be good. And so I really just wrote it about that, and that's kind of where it came from. And my sister really, my sister was a crucial part in helping that song come to be about, so.
And what's her name, so we can shout her out?
Oh, yeah. Her name's Brianna Mobley, or actually Brianna Mobley is how they pronounce it. But are
you related to the Mobleys that own the pool store in College Station?
No, so my whole family's from Georgia, so I wasn't even born here in Texas.
Because there's a Mobley pool store up there in Bryan. That's why I was wondering. I work in the pool industry, the swimming pool industry. So day job,
so nope. Well, we're probably cousins. Somewhere down the line. But I was born in. I was born in Lawrenceville, Georgia, so kind of outside of Atlanta. My whole family, all of my family's from Georgia. My family came to Texas because a great uncle of mine, I guess in the early 70s. Oh no, sorry, like late 60s. Moved out here. Got a really good job with a chemical company, and so they moved out here first, and they slowly got other people to move, and then they got my grandparents to move because my cousin had a couple convenience stores, so my family moved out here to kind of manage those convenience stores. And then my dad left my mom when she was pregnant, and my mom had me in Georgia because it was kind of too late, too soon, or she was about to have me, so it was not worth the risk of traveling.
And all that,
My mom tried to stay out in Georgia, but when I was 8 months old, she moved out to Houston, and that's how I got here. And that's pretty much how my whole family got here, was because of them. And so I still have a lot of family in Georgia. And so, my family, when my mom moved out here, I had nothing. So we lived with my grandparents, and that was also my uncles and my aunt. So I lived with all of them, and I was like their little toy, I was like a baby. And my aunt was in 10th grade or whatever. And so I was a little, her friend that annoyed her when I started walking. And
right.
So lived with my grandparents. They moved back to Georgia when I was 8. And I always say I have Georgia roots, and I did spend a lot of time in Georgia because when my grandparents moved back, my mom really couldn't afford daycare or anything or anyone to watch me. So my grandparents would drive out here and pick me up, and they would take me a week after school went out, and I would stay there for 10 weeks. Pretty much the whole summer I would stay there. And 10 weeks is exaggerating. I'd probably stay out there for 7 to 8 weeks, so 2 months. And so during those times, though, it's we did Georgia stuff. I've been to more Atlanta Braves games than I've been to an Astros game. I have. We went to Turner Field and watched. I used to watch Chipper Jones, one of the goats.
Oh yeah, dude. I grew up actually was raised a Braves fan, and then I kind of converted to the Astros when we moved back out to Houston. But it's just my grandpa was a big Braves fan. We lived. I used to live out in North Carolina when I was younger, and everybody on the East Coast that doesn't have a team in their state roots for the Braves. Out that way, because it's that was I was always the closest team. So it was just kind of, and then they rooted for the Commanders, the Redskins, the Commanders, whatever the proper term is now. But before the Panthers became a thing out there, and then they were big Panthers fans. But it's just, I always thought that was interesting how everyone likes the Braves that doesn't live in Atlanta too.
Yeah, and I guess I do have an Atlanta Braves hat, and I wear it every once in a while, and it's I don't even watch baseball. I couldn't tell you a single player on the Braves right now. But hey, I'm wearing it because I know Bobby Cox used to be the coach. That's what I know, that era of the
Chipper
Braves
Jones and Bobby Cox and Greg Maddux and all those guys.
Yeah, and dude, the iconic game that we all witnessed was that Atlanta Houston game that they went
it was
69
18
innings.
or 19 innings, yeah, two full games.
Yeah, it was 18 hours long. I'm kidding, but
but it was 6. I think it was 6 hours, something crazy, because it was basically 2 full games. I remember that too as a kid.
Yeah, epic. It was epic.
Yeah.
Look, that game was so epic that I remember maybe 6 months after that game, it was playing on ESPN Classics. And that's how epic that game was.
An instant classic.
Yeah, and so, so I don't follow any sports at all anymore. The only sport that I follow is Supercross and motocross. I grew up riding dirt bikes, and I'm not a good dirt bike rider at all. I'm just an enthusiast, but that's what I follow. There's a lot less people in the Supercross, motocross world than there are. There's how many NFL teams are there? There's 40, 30.
32.
32. Okay.
Yeah.
And how many? There's 4 strings of each tier. How many people on? There's 150 million people to go learn.
Yeah, because you got, I think the roster's at 50 something. I think players that make the roster, and then you've got practice squad and everything else. But And
too much for me.
A lot of players.
To know. Yeah, so I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how everyone remembers all that stuff, but with Supercross and Motocross, it's like Supercross season, you got 22 people on the gate. Motocross, you got 40. And there's obviously people that don't make the races, but, like, there's less people to remember in that sport than there are
that's true.
in all the ball sports. But
then you got players switching teams and stuff now too. Especially in college, they can just transfer whatever they want now. So you've got guys on new teams every year, and it's wild.
Well, okay, and I don't know a lot, but like I know that they're moving teams because some schools or the NIL, however it works, they'll give them more money to go to this team. So then they just transfer because they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make $2.8 million.
Can't blame them.
But shoot.
It's the school can't pay them directly, but but they're so the way it works is they get some rich donors and they're like, oh, we'll sponsor this player basically because with our company, or we'll make this collective fund and we'll take care of it kind of thing. A&M is one of the schools that spends the most money on all that stuff, and we still can't do well enough in football to be quite as relevant. But our other sports are doing great. I mean, baseball was in the national championship last year, and then of course now we lost our coach to TU though after he betrayed us and went over there. But you've got, apparently I saw something, I think tennis made it really far last year too. A lot of our other sports that people don't give as much attention as they should do better than football.
But I think that I think football athletes are, I mean, they're incredible athletes.
Yeah,
but
they are.
There are some of these other sports that it's like, man, like you can't deny what a swimmer does. Like the training that swimmers do is just incredible. Swimmers, wrestling, tennis, like these sports that you don't think of. And I mean, just the discipline. I mean, you got discipline everywhere, and there's different types of it. But I wish I had a little bit of it too, But hey, when I go to College Station, I'm eating lanes. But hey, they just put a lanes in. I live in Katy.
Yeah,
and
they're like in Houston and Dallas and stuff now too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 6 minutes from my place, and I go there. I go there. Or even okay. What is one of your favorite places in downtown Bryan to go eat at?
I go to Wings and More a lot. There's a Wings and More Express over there, or I don't know what else is. Oh, downtown Bryan though.
Yeah, downtown Bryan, on those couple streets.
I'm trying to think what's even over there. I mean,
let me tell you the best place.
Must be Heavens over there. It's pretty good.
No, it's closed.
Oh, really?
I
know they have one in Brenham too, but
there's one in Brenham. I went there a few weeks ago, or actually a couple of months ago now. But Proudest Monkey.
Oh, yeah, that's a brewery, right? Yeah.
I don't really know what it is, but they got monkey sauce, and I don't know what it is, but that shit is good, dude. When I go there, I'm like, Proudest Monkey, give me I need sweet potato fries, Yankee.
Is it burgers or what is it?
They got burgers, tacos, and they got 100 million beers. I mean, there's all the beers that you can't pronounce, they got them. But let me tell you what I get. A cup of that monkey sauce. Dude.
Monkey sauce.
Hey, I could be a spokesperson for them. I don't know much about their company, but man, that monkey sauce is, dude. It's honestly it's worth the drive. It's worth the drive to go there just to have a little quick dinner and come home and go for a drive to listen to music, dude. I'm telling you, the tacos. I'm not. I know this is about to be not great to say, but I'm not a huge taco person. But those tacos are good, man. They have all different types. Everything. They got a good grilled chicken. Just a wonderful place. So next time you go to a game, you should go to downtown Bryan and get something to eat.
No, and I actually, so I live in Magnolia, but I actually work up there too. So I work in Bryan. And so I'm over there all the time. Bryan and College Station. I work in and around there and in Magnolia. So that's why when you're like Bryan, I was just thinking of the area around where I work over right by is it called Sodalax, I think, or Sodala? I don't know how to say it, but that cafe that's over there. I haven't eaten there yet, but I've heard that place is really good too. So Sodalax.
I might have to try it, but I am pretty loyal because I don't get to go through town much, but when I do,
The chicken.
I'm going to Proudest Monkey, or I mean, look, I kind of
the chicken, man. You got to get a burger and Tijuana fries too, right?
Proudest Monkey. They got monkey sauce, dude. Let me tell you.
All right, monkey sauce.
You know, I do want to go. My cousin moved there. She's a freshman, and
yeah,
I want to go to Northgate and just see, like, go feel old.
What's changed? Yeah, I feel old.
Yeah, I mean, you drive by, like, look, I wish that, and I don't know, I haven't looked at their stuff, but now that Harry's is gone, I would love for
terrible,
Shiner.
By the way.
Yeah, it is. It is unfortunate. You know, I'm glad that I got to go there a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I actually played at Harry's one time.
Yeah.
I had an embarrassing performance. I don't even want to talk about it really. But let's just say I played there and I sucked. I was embarrassed that I did that. But anyways,
you got to tell me now. I'll cut it out if you don't want it in the interview. But now I just want to
know. People know. I mean, oh gosh, no, you don't have to cut it out. But man, so I played with Hayden Baker at Harry's, and I played rhythm acoustic, and and I played a couple songs okay, but then I played a lot of songs terrible, and I really dude. When I've never experienced this before, but we opened for Parker, and Parker was doing 2 nights there. It was
that like right at the end of COVID? I think I was at that show.
It was right at the beginning of COVID, I think.
Or when it was like we were shocked that it was still open, and they let them do it. I remember that.
It was February of 2020, so just before it hit the fan, and we played on the 13th or the 14th. I think it was like around Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I want to say. And man, bless that crowd for having to see a 300-pound sweaty fat guy play rhythm guitar. Dude, it was packed. Like anyone that's played there knows that those old ass lights, they project heat. It is like a sauna on that stage.
Oh yeah.
And man, I sucked so bad, and it was so embarrassing, and I really felt bad. And I'm glad Hayden's still one of my friends, because I'm sure I embarrassed him a little bit. And but it is what it is. Live and learn. And it was a sea of people. Like, you just saw these people, and it was just like, holy shit, I never seen. And I don't know what their capacity is or was, but let me tell you, it was over 1,000. It was over 1,000, and I mean, it was so packed. People weren't dancing back there. I mean, there.
Like the whole dance floor's full. I mean, that's why he had to play there 2 nights. I don't know that even if it were open that he could come back and play a venue like that now. They send him to Wolfpen usually. I think when he comes back to College Station, because he sells too many tickets now.
I mean, I don't know the guy, but I was working a show with Jesse Robb Jr.
He's around here, local guy around here.
Yeah, no, dude, Jesse's great.
Yeah, he's
incredible
a great guy.
Songwriter, and a really nice guy. You know, I don't talk to Jesse, but like the little bit that I have and I've spent those couple times I spent time with him in the van and stuff, I really liked things that he would say. Like, he was very inspiring. Like, would say inspiring things to me, and like gave me confidence in a way. But I worked a show with him. It was him, someone else, Parker McCollum, and Kojo. And
I was
watching
at that
Kojo's. Oh yeah.
It was like the back to school thing or something. I think
it was. It was
the back to school bash. Yeah.
I'm watching Kojo's set from like kind of like the bridge, I guess, like side stage that, you know, it's like where you put the gear through or whatever.
Sure.
And Parker like was kind of he was like next to me. I didn't say anything to him, but I'm shy, like
Yeah.
he doesn't want to be bothered. He just played a badass show. He didn't want to talk to me, so I didn't say anything to him. But he played a cool show that night, and that was a fun little night in College Station. But what I was wanting to say about C-Stat is that I'd really like to see Shiner do something. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but I'd like to see them do something with live music and kind of go back to those glory days of what I looked at as a kid, like seeing Cross Canadian Ragweed
Yeah.
in that building, and it's like, can we get that? Can we make that? Can y'all make this the replacement for Harry's?
Yeah. I think concerts, I don't think as a dance hall it will ever compare to like Harry's, though. There's just not enough room to dance and stuff in there, and it's more like it's a different crowd that goes there. I'm
just talking about a party, like, let's get fucked up and play fucking music, dude. Like,
that's the place, yeah.
Yeah, like,
no,
let's play Texas red dirt rock music and country. And
oh man, could you imagine like Treaty Oak or Co playing in there, and you've got wall to wall people on both levels, just like get rowdy in there.
If Co did that, you'd have to sell a left nut to go see that. But dude, Treaty
and
Oak's,
beef up security.
Yeah, Treaty Oak's pricey too. But like some of these other guys too, like I mean, there's like Cameron Sackey, like it's like a bunch of these people. Like he's great. I don't know. I would just love to see if they could go back to those glory days.
I'm sure they're working on a plan because there's not a whole lot of there, and I think there's a new bar up there that's where the 4-0 and Go used to be on Northgate. I think it's called something Ice House. That there's a lot of room there, and they have like a DJ there and stuff. I went up for a couple games, so went out after the games to see it, but. I think it's Good Bull Ice House is the name of it, and there's a lot of space there that you could do concerts and stuff too. I'm interested to see what's going to be the new venue over in that area. Obviously, you still have the Tap, but then you need one that's like a little bigger than the Tap too. But also smaller than Wolfpen. So
yeah, there needs to be a mid-market deal, like the transfer spot. So. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I would just like to see it as a fan and watching. Yeah. I mean, we all watched those Cross Canadian Ragweed videos as kids. But now that I know that you are from like South Carolina or whatnot, how did you get into Texas music?
Okay, so I'm not from. So I was born in Texas, and then when I was But when I was like 1 or 2, parents and I moved to Seattle. I don't remember living there because I was like 1, and then from there, shortly after, moved to North Carolina, and then I lived out there from probably age 2 or 3 till I was like 11 or 12 before we moved back to Texas. So, and then I was in Texas from then all the way up to now. Like I grew up in the Houston area in Spring. And went to Klein Collins High School, and then on to A&M, and then now I'm in Magnolia. So,
okay, right on. Yeah.
So,
Cypress forever.
To answer your question, though, I guess better than that. Really, A&M is what opened my eyes to the whole Texas music thing. I always liked mainstream country, but I hadn't really been exposed to Red Dirt or Texas music or anything. I didn't even know that was a thing until I got to A&M, and my roommates were listening to Cody Johnson and stuff on their speaker, and I'm like, oh, who's this? This guy's good, and then it's and this is 2014 or 2015, and
you
they're like, hey,
2014
from high school, yeah, and
okay,
then
cool. Same.
Oh, okay, so you're 28, 29 or.
I am 29. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm kind of dumb. I failed 3rd grade, and so I got held back in 3rd grade.
Okay.
And yeah, so I turned 30 pretty soon. But I at least graduated high school. Bush really helped me out. No Kid Left Behind. So yeah, W did it for me.
I mean, it took me 5 years at A&M. So I mean, I
didn't even try. I'd probably still be at A&M.
Yeah, it was.
I actually couldn't get in. I'd still be at Blinn.
I had to switch majors and everything too because I was in the business school, and then I had to switch and get that history degree, and now I'm in sales, so I really use that history degree.
Yeah. So you
need the piece of paper though.
Oh, and you got the ring.
Yeah.
So you get you kind of the people you're around, you get introduced to the scene that way, I guess.
Yeah, and then they're like, hey, we're going to the back to school. Cody Johnson always did a back to school bash up there at Wolfpen. And they're like, hey, we're going over here to see Cody Johnson. We have an extra ticket. You want to come? I'm like, hell yeah. And so then from there, I'm like, oh, this is sick. And then I went to my first. So one of my first concerts ever at Harry's was Josh Abbott Band. And Guess who was opening for him? Parker McCollum.
Oh, really? Wow, that's awesome.
This is back in before Probably Wrong was even out. So that's one of the reasons I'm a big Parker fan too, because I feel like I got to see him come all the way up. So
yeah, I remember him
cool.
playing at the Tap and stuff.
Yeah.
Too, back in the day.
The Tap and.
So then, did you get into the history of Texas country, or how far back do you go on the history?
Well, yeah, I went down the rabbit hole and listened to, I don't know, Pat Green and everyone else, going back in time. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know where people would say it began, really. But, obviously Randy Rogers and Pat Green and even all the way back to, I guess, Robert Earl-Keen. You could argue that's
sure.
Texas country. So,
yeah, without a doubt.
And I think there's no real definition of what it is, because any country music, if the artist is from Texas, they call it Texas country. So it's like,
oh yeah, for sure. I was just curious, because people are always like, well, how did your family even get into it? I really don't know how my mom did, but when I grew up, dude, as a little kid, the only things that I was singing was Tracy Byrd, and my mom took me to see Tracy Byrd. It's crazy. I don't remember a lot, but I remember a little bit of this day. There was a Walmart that got built on 1960 and Cutton.
Yeah,
they did a Tracy Byrd concert in the parking lot.
Oh, that's sick.
And my mom took me because we had Kick FM. It was KIKK.
Yeah.
And they had, I wish I could find it, but there's nowhere to, I've looked, there's nowhere to find this, but the commercial, the ads that they would run back then was Kick on the Country. Because his song was, oh, I'm from the country and I like it that way.
Yeah.
And anyways, that was the first song that I remember singing as a baby, as a little kid, 4 years old. And so my mom took me to see Tracy Byrd, and it was close to the house. So my uncles ended up coming and I had a 101 Dalmatians children's chair, soft chair. Hey, that shit, you got some Interstellar going on.
You saw that, right?
Dude, Matthew McConaughey is screaming.
Mike in the Moon Pie's hat just jumped off the hook.
Dude, Matthew McConaughey did that in Interstellar. I watched it. So my uncles came and brought me that chair, that 101 Dalmatians chair, so I could sit down because, it's a parking lot. And they held me and stuff so I could see. But that was the first concert I went to. And then from there, I don't know, I guess my mom would maybe go out and my grandparents would watch me and stuff. But she ended up, finding out or coming across Corey Morrow. And that Corey Morrow, that first Corey Morrow record, it's that was a soundtrack to my childhood. That's what we listened to, that, and then this was later, a couple years later, but him and Pat did that Songs We Wish We Written, or Songs We Wish We Wrote, whatever. And so, you know, I'm growing up listening to that record, that Corey Mora record, and that Songs We Wish We Wrote record of Corey and Pat. And I'm a kid, so obviously, like, all this is new music to me. Not knowing that most of these songs I'm listening to are covers. So throughout my life, when I would hear the original song, I would go, holy shit, this is a Corey Morrow song. And they're like, no, this is not a Corey Morrow song. This is whatever. And it'd be like, dang, I like, you know, and it's cool, though. It's like, that's what I grew up listening to those because of my mom. And I don't know where she must have been going out. You know, my uncle was a DJ at a dance hall. And so, you know, he's from Georgia. So, like, my family had a crash course in Texas country when they came out here, I guess. But I always like to see, like, you know, how far people's knowledge of Texas country goes. I really like the history of Texas country and Redbird and all those guys. It's you know, it's so unique. What a place. You can make a living playing music and never leave
the state
in Texas.
Yeah,
like you can play all these places, but then it's like, you know, it's cool. It's very neat market. And a neat little genre, little special scene we have for sure. You went to Steamboat or no?
No, but it's on my list of things that I want to do. Like, I guess you could say bucket list. I don't know. But I want to try to go in the next year or two. That's really, really cool, I think. I've never been to Colorado either. So, I mean, it's like,
man, you got to go.
Kill two bears with one stone, you know?
Yeah, I'd never been to Steamboat for the music fest, but for some reason I thought I saw you post something from Steamboat this year.
No, so somebody's been sending me like videos from it, and like I guess they want me to share them. I'm not sure, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out who it was. I think it's so I did a podcast collaboration with I don't know if you know Rob White and Roy May. Rob plays bass for Carson Jeffrey, and then Roy May used to be a yell leader at A&M, but they do a podcast of like Aggie sports and stuff together. And so I was on there before the TU game. We were just like, you know, talking sports and whatever. But somehow I think we mentioned Steamboat, and then Roy said, or somebody said they knew somebody who was going up there, and then so I don't know if it was them or somebody I talked to said they were going to have their friend send me stuff, and I guess that's who it is. I don't know, because I'm like looking like, how does this person find me? But I'm like, I appreciate them sending me this stuff because it's sick. So I shared it.
Right on. Cool. Yeah, because I was wondering, I was like, dang, man, he went to Steamboat. I want to go out there. I mean, it seems like a cool deal out there, and so does Miles Hero. Like, I'd like to go out there too, but, you know, it's I'm not going to go out there to not work, you know, so I either want to be, you know, working. I want to be, you know, filming or doing something. I'm not gonna go just to, you know, sit in the crowd and do that. But even though you would eventually sit in the crowd doing something, I mean, we're fans of music, right? So I'm gonna watch people that I want to watch, because I mean, we have some of the best musicians in Texas. Like, some of these guys, when I watch these bands, I'm like, they piss me off. It's like, dude, I could take lessons for 100 years and still not be that good. You know, it's like, man, some of the bass players we have are
and steel players and stuff too.
Oh,
just
yeah.
everything. Like, who is it that plays steel guitar for Jake Worthington? That's one of the best steel players I've ever seen. Man.
Brennan Rice used to, but I don't know what the new. I've seen him. I don't know.
I feel
his
ashamed for not remembering his name, but dude's
I never
amazing.
met him. But yeah, man, Jake's band is a really good
he's got a hell of a band. Yeah.
Jake's band, his bass player is really good too. Yeah, his bass player is sick. I love bass. I love bass guitar. Yeah. It's I think it is the hardest instrument to play, which is funny because most people say, "Oh, he just played bass. He ain't nothing." But really, the bass player,
they're the ones that keep everybody Together,
Bass
though,
player
too.
keeps time. People say the drummer keeps time. No, drummer runs click track. Bass player keeps time, dude. You can have a really good bass player and an okay drummer and it sound good. Well, you can have a really good drummer and a not so good bass player and it's going to sound like shit.
People are going to notice.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So the bass players are one of the most crucial part in the band, and that's who I really like to. And I don't know everyone in the scene. Like I say, even when we play with these guys, like I'm fairly quiet. I just kind of do my job.
Yeah.
And I don't like to. It's not that I don't like to bother people, but I just don't like to. They're working as well. So it's like I'm not going to be like, dude, you're amazing, blah blah blah, and I look like a child. But internally I'm like, man, those guys kick ass. Like they put together a live show and play really well.
No, and it's such a balancing act of like wanting to talk to people and network, but not wanting to be like that overzealous, like annoying person. That's the problem I run into all the time too, because it's like I'm starting now to like be let into green rooms and stuff here and there, and it's like when I have like some credentials and different things, and it's like you want to be the guy who like puts your name out there and networks, but you also don't want to be the annoying guy who's just telling everyone what you do and not like listening. And it's like do I just sit here quietly? Is that more awkward than talking to people, or do I
Yeah, and I've been getting a little bit more comfortable about it, but I I guess when you're in the green room with other bands, it's like, you don't want to be quiet, but you don't want to be
don't want to be the loudest one either.
Yeah, for sure. Like that, and don't fart. Don't fart. No one will smell it. You got to smell that in the van. So it's like, don't be doing that in the green room. But it's cool. Take some pictures and get people to get on your pod.
It's cool, but.
So, how you go to Henry's Hideout a good amount?
It's right down the road from me, so like I'm there here and there. But
okay, I haven't been out there, but I see. I mean, I've seen pictures and stuff. It looks like a cool little spot.
No, yeah, and there's a lot of history with it. It's one of the oldest Well, this is what they claim, but I feel like everywhere claims that they're like the oldest or second oldest. They're like, "Oh, we're the second oldest operating dance hall," and I'm like, "Well, maybe, but like, that's what everyone says."
Yeah, what is Green Hall the oldest or no?
I think so. They say so. That's what Henry's. They say, "Well, we're second to Green Hall," but I've been to like 3 other places that have said that. So I think that's why. I think that's the joke. But it's. They just reopened it like a year or two ago. It was closed and sat like vacant for a while, and someone's renting the building and running it now. And so, I think it's a neat spot. It's unique for sure.
Yeah, because are you friends with like Zach United?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know him very well at all. I've said hello to him twice, but
he's an interesting guy. He's fun though.
Yeah, he has or someone has a podcast that they were doing it there, right?
So Texas Music
Reviews. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Texas Music Reviews with Harley Ray was up there, and so Harley Ray, Drew, and Zach, they're all buddies.
Okay, yeah, I like their podcast too. They put some spotlight on a bunch of different songs. So
yeah, and
I like their podcast too.
I don't know if they're still doing it anymore together. I think
really?
It was Harley who started it, and then he's been playing more shows lately. So I think like he took a break from it for a while, and so I don't know if they're going to bring it back or what. But we were talking about like them bringing it onto Texas Country Network, which is kind of the thing that I work with Zach on some, and some of us all work on that, and it's tied with Texas Country Music Association. I'm involved in like 17 different things. So,
yeah.
But
hey, that's good, dude.
I'll just try to do what I can. But
yeah, no, I think that's good. I think it's good to stay busy. It's like, work on the stuff that pays your bills during the week, and then work on your passion right after. So get to it. It's like, and it's fun too. Yeah, I enjoy it.
It's fun.
Look, I'm not going to go to bed till midnight anyways, but I'm also going to wake up at 6 a.m. and do my shit. And I have all the time, not all the time, but like I'm making the most out of the time that I do have, and trying to make something work,
Yeah, no, and it's I tried to get into booking a little bit too. I do some management booking promotion stuff for Montana Lane.
Yeah, I was about to say, I checked out Montana because you shared it. You shared him, and he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
No, yeah, he's I like his songs, and I think he's a really, really talented writer too. He's written a lot of songs that aren't out yet and stuff too. So we're real excited because this is his first full length album, and it just dropped on Tuesday. So Wings,
right on.
Check it out.
I'll listen to it tomorrow actually when I'm working.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing. It's so easy to release music now. Like that's why I'm kind of releasing music again, because screw it. It's like I do write a bunch of songs, and I have no aspiration to go play live. But it's like, why not write songs and have fun recording them with my friends? And it's like a lot of people have their hobbies. Well, playing music is a hobby for me, and so like, why not do it? People build cars and then drive them around. Why can't I write a song and put it on Spotify, and it is what it is,
and it's the cool thing with that too is like, you say you have no desire of playing live. Well, what if you put a song out there and then somebody wants to cut it or something too, and then you make a little money too? Yeah. It's like,
if I wrote a song that people want to cut, that'd be cool. Actually, someone did record a song because you're friends with Manny. That's how I know you. That's how I met.
Okay,
you. Actually,
that's what I thought. I was gonna ask. Yeah, you know Manny, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you and I have ever met in person, but I saw you at the award show, and I was like, man, that's Manny's friend. I should go talk to him, and then I went a complete different direction and forgot to come back to find you. And so, but yeah, I was like, man, that's Manny's friend. I need to go do that because he was one of your first pods, I think.
Yeah, Manny, August Man.
Yeah. So, I lived with him. I lived with him and his wife now for a year, and it's funny. We didn't write a single song together because we write together. Yeah, we didn't write a single song the year we lived together, but we wrote songs before, leading up to living together. We wrote songs. Then the whole year we lived together, didn't write, and then after we moved out and weren't living together, we wrote songs again. And I like writing with Manny. It's fun.
He's a good dude.
He's got an interesting like vibe that he likes, and like point of view. Like his creative space is very unique to me, and I do enjoy writing with him. Now that he lives in Rockport, I don't write. I haven't written with him in a while, but
I miss hanging out with him. But he's all the way down there. I got to get down there and see him sometime soon.
Well, it's just we should make him take us fishing. We should just go down there and say, hey, we're going fishing.
We'll film content and stuff like.
Write a song, and but him and I wrote a song that one of my clients wanted to record actually for Release Rocket, and the guy was like, man, like I feel like y'all wrote this song for me, and so he recorded it and released it, and we made a music video for it, and it was cool. He got to, put his
spin on
side of view, his spin on the song, which is a little different than me and Manny's, but it's
I think Manny sent me the song, and he was like, I know what you're talking about.
yeah. So that guy's name's Brian Sanford, and
another Brian.
Yeah, Yeah, he's Brian with a Y too, just like you. But yeah, he recorded the song, and so yeah, what a cool little deal. So I guess someone has cut a song, but yeah, I'm just gonna release songs and have fun, and I'm gonna make funny videos. I just want to make people laugh. This next round, I got a song coming out in like a month, and with the content on this, I want people to get spooked out. I want to make some really dramatic, scary content, and
Spooky.
I want it to be like a horror film. You know, it's like I want it to be scary. I don't
Drop
want
it around
to.
Halloween time or what?
No, it'll be February, so it's perfect for love because love is scary, right? Mm-hmm. But no, it's like I want it to. I kind of want it to like have like some suicide awareness stuff, you know. And, I want it to be scary. So maybe I won't be too funny with this one, but I will be very creative. And then the rest of the songs I plan on being kind of funny with. I want to reach out to people and just like see if they want to be on it, and it's just making music with my friends. And it's fine to have a hobby, even though, you know, if you're not good or whatever, you should still do it because you like it, and it doesn't matter what other people think about it, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I agree. And it's like, you know, you keep you keep doing it, and then it might even turn into more than just a hobby. You know what I mean? Like you said, you started the media company and stuff. It's gonna, you know, it'll grow into something even more, or could.
Oh yeah,
if you wanted to.
Yeah, the media company is you know, doing good enough to where we're building a recording studio in Richmond.
Yeah,
and we in Texas have fantastic recording studios. You know, you can go to Panhandle and Denton. You could go to you could go to Rosewood. You could go to Stormy Cooper. You could go to all these places. And especially in Houston, you know, we have Stormy Cooper, we have Sugar Hill, we have Wire Road, a big laundry list of studios in Houston, and a lot of them are busy. So it's like we're building this recording studio in an old horse barn, converting it into
that's sick.
It's really cool. It's 2 stories. It's old. We you know, have been building it out for a while. We've been collecting equipment for a while.
Yeah.
And we should be open soon. We're calling the studio Stable Phonic Studios. And so it's cool. It's like, you know, because it is a stable, a horse stable. And
sure.
And then the phonic part, and John Wilson, he came up with that name. And so he'll be the producer and engineer at that place. But we we'll welcome anyone if you're a producer and want to just use our studio. You know, you have an engineer there, and you can produce whatever. Or if you want to come in, you know, Wilson can produce it and run it, or I can produce it, or Ryan. So it's 3 of us. It's Ryan, Korn, John Wilson, and myself. And you know, we just would like to help people get some music recorded. Not that you have to come with us, because there's tons of options. But, you know, if you can get the same product as the other places or better, you know, why not come work with us? Especially like right now, there's no waiting list. So come and see what we're about. But also, I mean, shoot, you don't have to marry a studio either. It's like,
you can always go.
The whole point of being an artist is like, I love watching artists talk about, oh yeah, we went to this studio and did this, but like the last project was done here, you know, and then they do all different things. So, you know, go do a bunch of different stuff.
And then, you know, you find which one you like, and then go back to that one, or don't, or there's plenty of options. For sure.
It's endless. So I'm really looking forward to the studio and doing that. I think it's going to be a really good, fun time, and I'm excited about it. And two, it's like not that we will only do Texas country music,
Sure.
but it's like I would like to contribute to that history. It's like we do have a cool history, and if
it used to be a barn and
stuff. My studio can be a part of it. Yeah, if my studio can be a part of making a great Texas country record, like that would be awesome, because I am such a fan of it, and that'd be cool.
Then you leave that legacy, I'd be like, think about it, everyone would be like, yeah, that record was made here, like that's sick.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, man. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I wish I could go. Do you like Panhandlers?
Oh yeah, that's what's it? It's like Flatland and William Clark. What's all the people that are together?
Josh Abbott.
It's Josh
John
Abbott,
Bauman,
William Clark Green, John Bauman. I think Cleto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, John Bauman is a really great songwriter too. That doesn't get a lot of recognition that he should.
John Bauman is cool.
And an awesome dude too.
he is super nice. He texted me when I released that Christmas song, and I guess some of the videos we had posted, and he texted me after it released, and he was like, "Man, that's a really good song." And man, I really took that to heart, because he is one of my favorite songwriters, and I tour managed for him for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I really had a fun time doing that, and we played some cool shows, and so I got to spend some good time with him. And so, for him to text me and tell me that he liked the song, I really it meant something to me. Like it was cool. I really appreciated it, and
a lot of people don't know he wrote Gulf Moon too. There's probably a lot of Kenny Chesney fans out there that have no idea that he's the one that that had that song way before.
Yeah, and talk about that being like just so crazy. Like literally, here he got a song cut by Kenny Chesney with no publishing deal, no record label, no management, no booking agent, no nothing.
I don't even remember how did Kenny find him? You know what I mean?
I completely don't know, and I didn't ask him because I was just trying to do my job and get to know him. I was just excited to change the dude's guitar strings and clean his guitar. Yeah. I was just excited to do that, and we played here. He played a cool the few weeks that I was with him. He was in between tour managers or looking for someone new, and I was available, so that's how I got on it. But he played a bunch of cool shows, and I was just excited to be there. So I didn't really want to talk his ear off about all of that, because I was like, man, I don't want him to think I'm weird. But we listened to some cool shit. We listened to Terry Allen, when we were on the road and stuff. We listened to a lot of Robert Earl Keen, and while we were driving, and man, he's unique for sure. I really did enjoy spending that time with him, and I wish I asked if you liked them or not, because they're playing here this weekend in Houston.
Oh shoot, really?
And, I'm not going because I'm filming for Bree Bagwell this weekend.
Well, I'll be at Fort Worth this weekend, but my buddy's getting married, and they're doing a joint bachelorette party up there. My buddy's is actually Tyler Tonkin Tyler from Instagram. He interviewed John Stork a while ago. I don't know if you met him. Cool. I think he talked to you. Yeah.
He
that's the wedding. That's the party I'm going to this weekend. But
okay, cool. Right on, man. That's cool. Yeah. Because he's got a podcast too.
Yeah. So he is real passionate about Texas music and all this stuff, and he saw so I started talking to him a lot. We work at the same place, and And so he's like, oh, I'm gonna do it too. I'm like, hell yeah, man! Like let's do this. So it's cool to see him starting to get into all this stuff too. Well, and I've been talking with him. I'm like, we kind of want to pool our resources maybe and like get some better equipment. So
hey, any
cool.
equipment you need, let me know.
Okay.
I still got connections with, if you need audio or video, just let me know. I still have Guitar Center connections, and they will
I
definitely
appreciate that, man. Yeah.
give you a good deal. Hey, I worked for them for a long time and made them a lot of money, and so I should still reap the benefits for that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyone that needs that stuff, you can still hit me up. I can still get you stuff.
And
I'll be your equipment dealer. I ain't gonna sell no drugs, but I'll sell some equipment.
well, dude, but going back to John Bauman, I have a pretty awesome story from him from back when I was in school. Me and my buddy went to see him, and my buddy had on like a Great Clips hat. I think it was his favorite NASCAR driver or something was sponsored by Great Clips. I don't know. He had a Great Clips hat or Supercuts or Great Clips. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Great Clips. But we were sitting there playing, and like John goes into the mic, and we were sitting there listening to him play at the tap, and John's like, "Hey man, I like that hat." And so after the show, my buddy literally went up to him and was like, "Do you want the hat?" And like they traded hats. And so John is on Instagram playing like shows and all these other places the next few weeks, and he's wearing the hat in every picture. And he's like, "Out here fishing today," and he had the hat on, and my buddy's like, "Look!" And then freaking, I wish I could find. I'm gonna have to go back and try to find the post. But and then Parker McCollum comments on it and goes, "That's a sick hat. Where did you get that?" Like all these people are like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." And he traded with him and gave him like an Aaron Watson hat. So it was like he got a hat upgrade out of it too. So like it's pretty cool.
Shit, I don't know. The Great Clips one sounds gangster, dude.
Yeah, apparently it was.
It's kind of hard to find those cool, weird hats like that. You know, it's like I like
Great
hats.
Clips
But man, Great Clips is a cool one to have. Like that's something to go look for. I used to have a Tracy Bird hat that I wore a shit ton, and I wore it out. I shouldn't have ever worn it because it was from the 90s.
Yeah.
But man, it was too gangster not to wear, and I sweated through that thing, washed it. I mean, I think I put that thing through hell, but that was a cool hat. Yeah, those hats are hard to find. But what? Yeah. So that's a cool Parker hat, though.
Yeah, this is an OG, man. That same buddy of mine, he was in school at the same time as me, and he had this. He's like, "It's too big for my head," and gave it to me. And I've wore it way too much. It's like brown. You can't tell because there's lighting shining on it, but it's like almost yellow. But I went to before the George Strait concert. He did a little meet and greet at Lucchese, so I finally got to go meet him in person, you know, since I'd done the interview with him and everything, and he signed my hat and everything, so that was cool. But he's like, "Man, I don't think we make those anymore." I said, "No, y'all don't." I tried to buy another one.
That's sick, dude. Have you ever tried the Hat Buddy?
No, what's that? Is it like to like clean it or?
Dude, so basically it's this like it's this frame, and it you put the hat, you open it, you put the hat in it, and then you put the
that's still pretty nasty.
You put it back on, you clamp it, and you put it in your dishwasher. And,
shoot! In the dishwasher.
It does pretty good, dude. Now, it does it good for like 2 washes. Once you wash it more than twice, the hat's done. Throw it away or hang it up, you know.
No, I think I actually bleached this one once, just trying to get it back good enough again, and it actually worked. Cleaned it off a little bit, but then it it went back yellow again. I don't really wear it much, but I figured I'd throw it on for the podcast every now and then or something because I don't wear it much as it's signed anyway. But
dude, try a Hat Buddy. They're cheap. You get a pack of 3 for like $15, and they're not biodegradable. They're gonna be on this planet until 10,000 years from now when the next round of dinosaurs come back. But
But yeah, I'll try that because my white hats, they always start to turn yellow, and I'm like, I love white hats. This is what sucks.
Me
and then
too.
they turn yellow. Yeah,
me too,
but I'll
I
sweat
love
them.
white hats and green hats. Like I
Yeah.
like, dude. Some of my favorite hats are. Have you ever gone to Nashville and gone to Whiskey Jam?
No. I'm familiar with Whiskey Jam, but I've never been there. I've never been to
Dude,
Nashville.
it's
either,
so the people that make their hats are dome hats. It's called dome hats.
yeah.
And they're the best hats that you can get, and they are awesome. But anyways, I had a couple Whiskey Jam hats that were like green and yellow, like John Deere, and
Yeah.
that was one. Man, that's a hat that I wish I could have bought 100 of them and had them for
Right.
the rest of my life. But yeah, no, those hats are great. I'm not a huge Richardson hat guy. Like
Really?
I like unpopular opinion, but I like Yupong a lot better
Yeah.
than I guess
I don't
since I sell
remember.
merch, I know all. We all are like, hey, what
Oh,
hat
this is
gets
a
you the best
Yupong.
margin? Yeah, yep.
Actually, yeah. It's
Oh yeah, there we go, baby. That's the hat, dude, right there.
yeah. I didn't even know it was Yupong, but
Yeah, you want a good hat and a good margin? You buy that Yupong, baby. You gonna make money at merch.
hey, I mean this thing's still in one piece after all these years. It's like this thing's probably 10 years old at this point. Almost.
Yeah, it's almost. You should just rip that patch off and glue it on another hat.
No, yeah, you could. It's just a patch. No.
Oh, I guess he signed that.
Yeah,
that
no,
one.
gotta leave it up there. Yeah, I have the Lucchese hat, his signature thing. I have one of those signed too, but in a bag, but that I paid an embarrassing amount of money for for the Lucchese store.
Yeah.
It's a
Man,
sick
hey.
hat, but like,
Luke Casey makes some good boots, dude. They really
yeah,
they are really comfortable, but you have to go to your credit union to take a loan out. I mean, dude,
they finance them. Actually, I saw that. I was
Really?
like, man, like if you
finance boots. I would
Yeah, I'm
love
like-
to call Dave Ramsey and say, "Hey, Dave, I make this a year," and then he's gonna be like, "You need to find a new job," and then I'll be like, "Well, I really want to get a new pair of boots," and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, you need to get a job first," and be like, "No, but hear me out. Luke Casey finances boots." And Dave Ramsey would shit a brick. Dude, that would be hilarious to hear what Dave Ramsey thinks about financing a pair of boots. Golly, that's hilarious.
you can
dude.
finance like anything now because they have like the Klarna or whatever it's called, where you can pay in 4 payments, and it's like $10. It's
Yeah,
wild.
and then they charge you that $10 at the wrong
Interest.
time, and your account goes negative.
Yeah. Nah, it's
Golly, that's
interest
cool
and whatever
though.
else.
I wonder who they finance their boots through.
Yeah, I don't know. They said that, or they have payment plans or something now, I guess. Because I mean, you have to with some of those. I went in the one in Fort Worth last time I was up there, and we were like looking around, and the store associate, he came over. He's like, "Can I help y'all find anything?" I was like, "No, I'm just drooling. All this stuff's too expensive for me, but it's all cool stuff." And then I was like, out of curiosity, what's the most expensive pair of boots that you have in here? And he goes, "Why don't you look around there?" He goes, "Guess." I was like, it had a $15,000 pair of boots in there.
Are you serious?
And I was like, are you like buy a whole car? Like, damn.
$15,000.
Could buy 3 cars.
Dude, I have never bought a vehicle that's more than $7,000.
Yeah.
Ever. I buy junk cars, dude, because they're just more fun. It's like, dude, yeah, you could buy a car and make payments and have a car that works, or you could buy this car and you don't know what's wrong with it. And
Roll the dice, but
dude,
it's also
it's fun.
cheaper. Yeah.
It's fun. I bought a Honda Ridgeline, which I know people hate those things, but I bought a Honda Ridgeline for $700, and I drove it. For 5 years. I put 120,000 miles on it, and that was the best
Those Honda
$700. Dude, Honda is gonna last, dude. The Japanese, they know how to make shit last. And yeah, even though it's a Honda Ridgeline and everyone's saying not a truck, it's a this, it's that. Well, guess what? I didn't buy it for a truck. I bought it because it was $700. Okay.
Yeah, that's sick. Honestly.
Yeah. Like, okay, so you can make your payments and whatnot, but I just paid $700 for this, and guess what? I still put a dirt bike in the back.
Yeah, still a truck. Kind of.
Just kidding. Look, you can't really tow much of nothing.
But
you know what?
But it's $700.
It was $700.
Yeah, so it's like.
Yeah, that thing was awesome, man. I loved that thing just because it was $700. But anyways, yeah, dude, that's cool. So y'all have any plans for Fort Worth? Y'all going to Billy Bob's and
yeah,
show,
I think we're seeing Corey Kent on Saturday.
Oh, sick, dude. That'll be great.
Yeah, I haven't seen him yet. So I think it'll be cool. Looking forward to that. I mean, anytime going to Billy Bob's is going to be a good time anyway. So, we're doing that, and I think we got an Airbnb up there, all of us. And then I don't know what else is going on. I know the girls have like their stuff planned out. I'm sure the guys are just going to figure it out when we get there. It's kind of the way it usually goes. So
I know y'all are going to get fucked up, and that's perfect because you're at a bachelor party. But one thing that I would definitely go do, you ever been to, now I'm going to forget the name. I think it's Rhinestone Saloon. Rhinestone? Okay, cool. Right behind that place is this hamburger joint called Hookers. Dude, I'm not kidding you. I went there wanting a hooker. I left there not wanting a hooker. The best burger I've had in a long time. They're open till like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And for dessert, I got that fried peanut butter jelly sandwich. And dude,
a fried peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Fried peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Wow,
dude.
That actually sounds really good. I'm not gonna lie.
I was singing Marvin Gaye afterwards. I was screaming, "Let's get it on, dude!" I was talk about that thing is better than Blue Chew. That fried peanut butter jelly sandwich, dude. That thing works, baby. It is a good tasting dessert, and that's what it is. It's a dessert. I mean, yeah, they got it right. But y'all go to Hookers. I mean, I know Whataburger's the go-to, but like, man, you're already gonna be down there. Might as well go there. They're open till 3. I'm like their unofficial spokesperson because they're so good, dude. We played at Rhinestone, a while ago.
Yeah.
Within the last 6 months. I don't remember when it was exactly, but we played there, and after the show, we went and ate there at Hookers, and man, what a place. It was awesome.
Well, we'll have to make sure to hit that up, but I wanted to say thanks, man, for coming on the podcast here today, for hanging out.
Dude, yeah, thanks for letting me shoot the shit with you. And
no, absolutely. Cool. No, we'll have to get you back on again sometime, too, man. But I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and hang out.
Oh, shit, we've been on here for an hour and a half, huh?
I gotta eat dinner. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Dude, you gotta eat that peanut butter jelly sandwich.
The fried peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Dude, I'm telling you. Hey,
I will from Hookers.
Just do this. Please go get it. Put it on your story and tag me.
I will.
And just do that.
Thinking of you at Hookers at Shelton Wallace.
Yeah, and what I'll do is I'll share it. I'll reshare it and frame hearts all around it. And, and then I'll send you a video of me crying because I won't be eating it. But yeah, no, thanks for letting me be on here and talk a little bit. And
no, I appreciate it, man.
Studio and Release Rocket, and then my own stuff and a little bit of history. So, yeah, whenever you want to come out to a show, hit me up. Let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. But this has been the Red Dirt Aggie Show. I'm Brian, the Red Dirt Aggie, and that over there is Shelton Wallace. As always, gig 'em and God bless, and we'll see you next time.